probably going to want to dump that out so that bowl doesn't freeze if it gets too cold. I about lucked out last week. But with that, top of the morning to you laddies. My name's Rentalman Buck. Welcome back to the Homeowners series. Quick update as to what's going on. We have a couple different ideas, not of all which are going to be done in this video itself, but I do have a few ideas that are going to be coming over the next few videos. One being this garage is finally going to possibly be replaced. I got a 2-stall garage that I've been looking at through Morton that has been very promising. It's not as wide as this garage, but it's a bit taller, and it is a 2-door facing the front. Plus, it does have a side door that gets you out to the side, but I do lose this door. I don't have a door on the side of that shed anymore. I think it'd be nice because I can put a lot better HVAC heating and cooling system in there for just the sake of keeping things, and it'll just be easier to get stuff in and out since it's just a front door access, and it's not like you have these big little like insides that are whatever. But that's one of the main things. We got to get the plow on the front end of the Dodge. As we've been lucking out this year with winter, it's about 40s in the 40s, upper 30s in the morning, but it gets to about 70 in the afternoon. So I want to get the plow on the front end of the Dodge in case snow starts flying, which I highly doubt it will, but it's good to be prepared for anything else. We're going to need to take the tipper trailer. I'm going to have to take the gate off once I get back. I'm going to have to run to the like the quarry and whatnot to get a couple loads of gravel. As you guys might have seen over here, the driveway has been, I just tore all the rest of this gravel out. I kind of fizzled it out in between what's already over here. I want to fix this driveway from when I placed this shed. So with that also being said, well, what's going to be going into this little shed right here? I have the 4020 currently sitting in here along with the pressure washer against this wall, the little Karcher, but I'm going to put the Dodge right here. The blue Landy currently is sitting in the cold storage shed with the camper, which has been winterized. And then, of course, we still got all of our show cars in the back shed over there. It's a little too cold out to be taking those cars out. We might wait until spring to get them back out, but as of right now, we need to get down to Sunbelt Rental and get ourselves a little trench compactor as well as a small mobile dump truck. It's just it's nothing fancy, but it's something that I feel is going to be able to get this job done a lot quicker. We are still going to use the 4020's bucket to help level things out a little bit more, as that's just nice for fine tuning. But I did want to fix this driveway. It's been driving me nuts that front portion by the doors has just been missing. So we are going to hook up to this since it has the pintle, and we are going to go pick up our little things. We'll see you guys in a second. So here are our two little thingies. Well, this one's actually a lot bigger than I thought it was, but this is going to be our little dump truck that we'll just load a bunch of the quarry rock into, and then I can just kind of drive around the lot and then kind of maneuver it a little bit easier than it would be to, say, just dump it with the truck. But here is our little compactor. This will obviously flatten out the gravel a little bit more once we kind of get the 4020 to do its job with leveling it out as much as possible. Then we can get the ground compacted down so it settles a lot easier. We're going to load this up first since obviously this is the smaller of the two and probably doesn't weigh nearly as much. We'll kind of level him right here. Turn that off. And then we will put the dump truck on and we will make our way back. So this truck pulls very, very smoothly. I always just love how I mean, the 250 is just right, because what I have this truck for, it's not like I'm over here heavy hauling every single day of the week. But we finally got back to the house. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the gate off the back of the trailer, so that way I can go and take this and fill it up with gravel. I heard that the quarry has a new wheel loader, so I'm anxious to see what they'll have loading me up, if it'll still be that JCB that I had last time. Get this lowered down and back these out. I think it might be easier to use this in the corners than it might be to, I don't necessarily know. Oh! See, I haven't used one of these. I haven't used this thing yet, so I don't necessarily know what it's got in it. There we go. So we got those two unloaded. What we're going to do is we're going to take the gate off the back of this. Call that good. And we will set that over here quick. Obviously, we're just going to drag it by the power of camera magic. And let's get this hooked back up. That obviously disconnected. And we are going to go get some gravel. So as we're rolling in, I was correct. They do have a brand new wheel loader. A big old Hitachi. So we're going to get loaded up with old rock here. And then we should make our way back. I almost started loading with the JCB, but then I remember stone in this game is like 16 times heavier than it probably should be. So we are just going to load it with this bad boy, because I mean, this thing isn't even phased by it. This is actually a really, really, really nice wheel loader. Now I know I probably can't load this thing too much, but we're going to load this thing to the brim as much as possible, even though I don't want rock coming out of the back. Ah, logic. Okay, one bucket apparently fills that up. So we're going to make our way back now. Dump the rest of that on the ground. And if we need more, we will come back. Endless cycle of something. There you go. So if we need more, we'll come back. We got a full trailer load, one bucket, because that's logical. And we'll see how far this takes us. There's one thing that is a complete certain on this, is the fact that you can most definitely feel the weight on the tongue for this thing. It is not liking this load right now. What I gotta do is I need to run down and find my barrel weight, because that is the only way that 4020 is going to be able to hold a bucket full of this stone. I don't remember where I put that. Oh yeah! I think, I'm praising it. I think the weight is still on the back of the tractor? Oh. Okay, good. I don't remember where, I thought it was still down in the shed from when I was moving it earlier this morning. But yeah, what we're going to do is we are going to take this, like we did last time, only to level it out, as I'm just going to probably dump a majority of this with just the trailer. But I also want to use that to get into the tight corner. So actually I'll load that up first. Do that. There we go. So there is our first load. There is one bucket, which I think that probably holds a lot more than I think it does.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
So I do not joke you. 3.5 hours later, I started recording this at about 8:30. It's closing in on 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. I have finally found a way to somewhat make this happen. I hauled in about 4 to 5 loads worth of gravel, knew this wasn't going to work, and then I proceeded to sift through mod after mod. But you know what? We finally found a asphalt layer that I can use, that I could dump a bunch of stone in and do what I am doing now. I have gotten more done literally in the last 24 minutes than I have in the past 3 hours. Oh, missed some. And we'll just back that up. And we'll fill in the remaining holes. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. So yeah, I've literally been working on this. Took a lot longer than I thought it would. For 3.5 hours. But I'm dedicated. I want you guys to get the best looking product. One thing that did definitely get better... Uh-oh. Getting stuck. What are we stuck on? Oh, just a little bump of gravel. That's the one thing. This thing does not like off-roading in the slightest. So let's just do that. We'll set this. Because I'm going to come through here probably with the Volvo. That came from the quarry, as well as the steamroller came from Public Works. So, I mean, I'm just trying at this point to make this the smoothest road possible. Now, of course, it's not going to be anything beautiful. But, hey, this is probably the best I'm going to be able to do without losing my head and wasting my entire afternoon. But, hey, we got the thing. We're closing in on it. We're almost there. It comes down to, I get the wheel loader down there, I lower the bucket to where it's at by level, and then I can just drive up, and the bucket's capacity has enough to just take this whole thing in one bucket load. That's what I'm hoping for. But there we go. That thing is done. D-O-N-E. I am done with this piece of machinery. And to be fair, it's actually pretty nice. I mean, of course, again, it's not like smooth at all yet, but this pass is a lot wider than it used to be, and now I have the gravel all the way out to here, so I can get these out nice and easy. I don't think I'm going to worry about these little patches, because of course this is just gravel, so it's going to ride rough on the vehicles anyway. But this is all the excess gravel that I've been going through, and with Easy Dev, I just basically delete the stuff, but we're going to take care of this by getting rid of all the gravel in the bucket first, and then lining this bucket up to where I should be able to just take that layer off the top and make it smooth like this beforehand, because I took all of the gravel from, I believe, right at the beginning of this little loop up. All of that gravel was gone. Let's see. I think we're just going to be able to make this. This is a game of precision. There we go. So that should be good enough for at least what I've been trying to accomplish for the past 3 hours. Well, the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ram quick, and we did finally get the blade on it. Now, this is not what this is for, but I used it for it last time. I basically, to make a long story short, would lower the blade and direct said stone into the direction it needed to go, and then it just kind of pushed it along and created a nice solid even line on the end. Okay. We'll just do this to make a nice solid edge. Place it right there. Beautiful. So now I am going to get rid of all of that gravel, and then we shall see you guys all in just a second. So the road's not the smoothest thing on earth, but you know what? It's going to be able to do just fine for what I need it to do. We're going to put the ram in the shed like I originally wanted to, because of the fact it keeps it warm. It doesn't have to have as many problems when I get to go and start it at the beginning of snow season. There we go. But we will leave that in there. What I want to do now is grab our little compactor here, and we're going to kind of go up and down this a little bit, just so we can kind of get it all smoothened out. Okay, so we finally got the driveway compacted to a point. It's, of course, nothing fancy, nothing special. This is probably 3 times rougher than the other version that I did of it. But you know what? It looks the part, it gets the job done, and most importantly, it fixed this pad. The pad in front of this door, I so badly just wanted to quote-unquote strangle it because of the fact it just drove me nuts that it had this nasty stuff right here. I'll end up tearing this little spot out as well and reseating that, as well as, of course, a little bit down this side and this side, so that we can have this ready to go for spring. I won't do that until probably very early spring, so that way I can just get it a little bit ahead of the competition. But now we got to get the last thing that I at least want to do today, because that drained me on there. I thought I was going to be able to do a lot more, but it doesn't look like it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this back to Sunbelt, as well as we already got the little our little dump truck back to Sunbelt. So those two are doing just fine. We got those taken care of. The one thing that I want to do is I do want to go call Morton and see what their pricing, as well as a rough idea of what that shed's going to cost to put right there. So let's get right to it. So the shed that we are looking to invest our money in from Morton looks about like that. I love the little bit of a layout. We got a multitude of different colors, but I'm probably just going to keep it safe and go with the base model of white, just so it matches the rest of the house. So if we want to build that where we were going to originally put it, like I said, it's shorter than my, it's smaller in width than my current one. Not technically by much, but it's also taller, so I can fit more things of height into it. So I'm going to guess, as they already have it base priced at $75,000. So I'm going to guess with leveling costs already on the shed, I can kind of place it right over the top. $75,000. We're just going to basically say it's a $76,000 shed by the end of it. It does retain the depth. If not, I gain some depth, so that will be very, very nice. But I think it's just going to be nice that I can have an actual garage to the house instead of more or less a shed. It's not insulated the greatest, so we're going to probably take a look into that. This project probably won't start until early spring, but I did want to get them out here to do an estimate on that. So we got that taken care of. But the only thing I believe I have left to do is to pretty much put my truck and trailer away, put the gate back on the trailer, and then just kind of do the last minute adjustments to anything that needs to be getting ready for the winter time, as I don't believe I will need to mow anymore, as we kind of had that late frost last week. But with that being said, guys, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe down below if you guys haven't already. Be sure to check out the Boomstick Club for all the up-to-date content from me and the gang. You guys already know who is in it. And I shall see you all in the next one. This is The Rental Man out. Peace.